So you may remember in a recent video of my B8A4, I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to work with AWE and install their new downpipe for the B8A4. And everything went really smoothly with it. The only problem I ran into was the rest of my exhaust that I hobbled together 6 years ago with a friend of mine did not pair too well with the new downpipe. It's a little loud for my taste. And you may remember in the end of that video, I actually mentioned, kind of jokingly, hey, AWE, if you want more stuff for me to review, you have my number. Well, turns out they took it seriously and they were more than happy to work with me on another project. So today, I'll be installing pretty much the best catback you can get for the B8, A4 or S4. And that is the AWE Touring exhaust. So my exhaust on this car currently, I went over it in the last one, but I'll go over it again. I have a 3-inch catless test pipe, the downpipe from AWE, and the catback I all put together. I had the ECS Res Delete pipe in there, and in the middle of that I put a vibrant ultra quiet resonator, and then a custom Y pipe at the back with 4 giant exhaust tips, which, to be honest, I'm gonna kind of miss the big exhaust tips, but I think these will probably suffice. These really nice roll tip exhaust tips, and looks like they're gonna be pretty adjustable. So that's pretty cool. And installing is gonna be pretty easy. There's just this clamp right here, gotta undo, and some exhaust hangers here and here. This tunnel brace we gotta take off. And then I've got 2 hangers at the back here. So real easy. The hangers on these Audis are actually really nice because you can just unbolt them. However, one of these, yeah, this one over here, you don't wanna unbolt because it also holds up one of the gas tank straps and it's really hard to get back in. I've done it far too many times. So this one I'll just pull out with the exhaust hanger remover tool, and then this one I'll unbolt. They're all 13s, I believe, so it's a matter of 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 bolts and 1 clamp. So let's get to it. So a nice touch is being able to align the tips at the back as well as possible. Give you these little clamps, tighten them on. At least for now, this will keep the hanger on. But then once it's on there, I have all of this room to adjust it, and then I can tighten it to my liking wherever the exhaust may fit.
Can bumping all the jams on the boombox, sing sang, everybody dance, break it down to the sunrise. Never mind the fans, got the vibes that you can't fight. You know what it is.
And now probably the most difficult part of this install is going to be aligning everything, getting 4 separate tips to all look the same behind a car is a feat in its own. So I remember when I was doing the exhaust on this 6 years ago with my friend Jake, it took us probably 2 hours just to figure out where it was going. Yeah, this is just gonna be a lot of trial and error, going back and forth, seeing what fits better, and yeah, give that a try.
The party is true. Tell everybody come through. We dance until we can't move. It's time to let it loose. Can't stop, the party is true. Tell everybody come through. We dance until we can't move. It's time to let it loose.
Okay. Well, that took way longer than I'd like to admit, but there's only one thing left to do. See how it sounds. So, I now have the best exhaust that I can get for this car. And it's fantastic. You know how you can sometimes tell when a car has like a refined sound? Like, you straight pipe a car, it's gonna be louder. It might sound good, but at the end of the day, an aftermarket exhaust that has the R&D behind it, like AWE or any other of the leading companies out there, it's gonna make a difference, and this certainly does. I pretty much always liked the sound of this car before putting these new exhaust pieces on, but I basically didn't know that it could sound this good. The biggest problem I had after installing the AWE downpipe was the drone inside the cabin, and I need to reiterate that that is 100% on me. I pieced together this exhaust over time and then removed basically my only muffler in the system, so yeah, it's gonna be loud. So now with this system in the back, I have more resonators, I have 2 mufflers at the back, and it is just, it's great. I'm driving at 2,500 RPM right now, and what do you hear? It's quiet. But if I want to get on it, it sounds great. And before, when I had that drone problem, the biggest issue was right at 2,000 RPM. And if I go down to that, that must just be like where the harmonics in the 2-liter just get super rough, because like I can tell the engine wants to start droning, because that's like by far like the deepest, loudest sound coming from it, but it's still not an issue. I will admit that I've become very picky when it comes to exhausts. When I was younger, I would just get the cheapest possible exhaust available and be happy with that, or I would just cut off a stock muffler and send it. But as I've matured, my tastes have changed, and I tried to go that cheap route with my B6 A4 recently, well, last year, and it sucked. I ended up having to take the exhaust off, put it back on, take it off, put it on, it took so many tries and so many weeks of time. I even learned how to weld because of that project. And in the end, I was just unhappy with it. So if I would have just paid for a good exhaust in the first place, I never would have had to do that. If I never would have bought the car in the first place, I probably would have been happier, but oh well. That point aside, after I put the AWE downpipe on the car, I knew that I was gonna have to upgrade to a real exhaust, finally. But of course, why not go with the one company that made the other part? I think it's pretty well known that the AWE Touring Catback is like the exhaust for the V8 S4. And I think I can now confirm that that's the same case for the V8 A4. I went for the more tame option in the Touring package because I'm in my 30s now and I'm old and cranky, but I'm so happy that I did. So if you are looking for an exhaust for your A4, look no further. And I know it's expensive. Getting a name brand exhaust, especially from one of the top brands in this market, it's gonna cost you, but it's totally worth it. Because I've never had a car that sounds this good. It's probably because I've never paid for like a real name brand exhaust. I've always been like really stubborn about, it's just a pipe, you don't gotta pay that much, blah, blah, blah. Now I know it is worth it and you do get what you pay for. I'll just leave it there. It's great, and thank you AWE for working with me on this one. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's crazy to think that we are on the 4th year of this build series. It started in 2020, and even 4 years later, I put on my first exhaust, kind of. So, yeah, just keeps going on.